Thank you. Bill list for July 3rd, 2018. Public Affairs, $119,406.80. Revenue and Finance, $2,421,328.62. Public Safety, $25,212.23. Public Works, $59,298.82. Parks and Public Property, $748,583.61. Water Utility, $110,697.23. For total payroll, $955,921.72. For a grand total of $4,440,449.03.
Move the bills.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
And that's it for bills, Mayor.
Public comment on agenda items only. Madam Clerk?
Yes, Mayor. All persons addressing the Board of Commissioners regarding community concerns should approach the microphone and provide their name and address for the record. Unless further time is granted by the Board, each person shall limit their address to 3 minutes. All remarks to the Board and its individual members must be addressed to the Mayor. The Mayor may defer citizens' comments to the appropriate member of the Board. Dialogue between citizens and others addressing the Board shall be allowed unless the Mayor or presiding officer or the majority of the membership of the Board shall determine that the interests of decorum and/or the expeditious conduct of municipal business are being adversely affected by such dialogue.
70 Newman Avenue. Just in regards to the presentation that was just made, very lengthy and comprehensive, will all of those images be listed online somewhere so that people can prepare for the public hearing of July 17th?
Ms. Leto, I didn't hear the beginning of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. In regards to the presentation that was just made with all of the images and the handouts, and will all of that be made available online or for citizens to review it in advance of the public hearing on July 17th?
The public hearing is going to be on the plan, which is a little different than what you heard today. This was in preparation for us in order for PRISM to go on to the planning board, in which case the planning board will have all these exhibits at the time.
Okay, thank you. So just as a follow-up, this was Phase 2A, and I believe I heard Mr. Diaz say in response to a question, I think it might have been you, Mayor, or maybe it was Commissioner Tucci, just asking, yeah, it was Commissioner Tucci, how are we going to get, the people working out on 3 into Nutley? And it sounds like that's a future phase. It's a little disappointing to me as a citizen to know that they don't really have anything to present about how they're going to get more business into Nutley. And so I understand these things are done in phases, but sort of like we're going to present this parking garage and all of these needs and beautiful landscaping and beautiful design.
So I don't know if you heard
what's
Mr.
in
Inglesino's explanation at the beginning, but this presentation and the plan that we are considering is to facilitate the getting tenants into the existing buildings.
Yes.
All right. And so that's the main goal of this, what we're going through now. That's why the garage was an important aspect, because it's a new structure in addition to the existing structures. And then further plan down the road will address some of the other concerns that we all have with traffic and getting people connected to our downtown and through our park system and connecting on 3 to Nutley.
And I appreciate that, Mayor. I'm not at all implying that, the panel, the Board of Commissioners, and our hired, professionals aren't looking out for Nutley's best interests. I just was wondering, it's sort of this idea of, this is this phase to get this done, and in the future, we will get you all this other stuff.
But some things are driven by timelines that have to be met.
Right. Okay, and so my last question in related to the parking garage is, for the public hearing, will there be any references in terms of ratables? What does a parking structure bring in terms of ratables, a structure, that height, et cetera, number of spaces versus open lots that are already there today?
Once we get through the plan and the agreement, there will be financial agreements made with the developer.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else like to address the Board of Commissioners on agenda items only? Seeing none, Board of Commissioner announcements. Any announcements, Commissioners? Good. Just tomorrow, which is almost today, we'll be having the 4th of July celebration in the Oval, starting at 6:30. Franklin Avenue will be closed. We'll have some vendors out there. We have a DJ in the Oval, and then the fireworks will, as soon as it gets dark, we'll set them off. Commissioners, I hope to see you all there tomorrow. Let's go to public hearings. Ordinance number 3387, an ordinance to amend an ordinance codified in the Code of Township of Nutley, Chapter 228, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 3, particular, Section 17, entitled Vehicles Over Designated Weight, excluded to add the location set forth therein. Anybody like to be heard on ordinance number 3387?
Rory Moore, 462 Chestnut Street. Mr. Scarpelli, can I, just on, I believe we have 6 ordinances. Can I get these emailed to me tomorrow or the next day? Because there was none available at all. We should be able to at least look at the ordinance so we could ask a question.
Was it in the packet, Mr. Cook?
No, it wasn't. I wouldn't be asking for you if it was here.
Not necessarily. They're in the packets? They're in the packets according to the clerk, but I'm sure she can get them to you tomorrow.
Thank you. If you could send all 6, I'll send them out to everybody else, but there should be 6 of them altogether.
At least 4.
Since tomorrow is the 4th of July, maybe Thursday?
I know.
Yeah, maybe Thursday.
You can even do it next week.
Anybody else want to be heard on ordinance number 3387? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Move it.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Move the ordinance.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Ordinance number 3388, an ordinance to amend an ordinance codified in the Code of the Township of Nutley, Chapter 228, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, particularly Article 7, Special Zones and Areas, Section 229A, entitled Handicap Parking, to add the location set forth therein. Anybody want to be heard on ordinance number 3388? Seeing none, need a motion to close.
Move it.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Move the ordinance.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Ordinance number 3389, an ordinance to amend an ordinance codified in the Code of the Township of Nutley, Chapter 228, Vehicles and Traffic, to add Article 16, Section 56, entitled Do Not Block the Box.
Move it.
Nope,
Second.
gotta have a public
Sorry.
hearing first. Anybody want to be heard on ordinance number 3389? Seeing none.
Now I'll move it.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Do we move the ordinance?
No, we're going to
Move
move it
the
now.
ordinance.
Second.
Move. Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Ordinance number 3390, an ordinance to amend an ordinance codified in the Code of Township of Nutley, Chapter 131, Police Departments, Article 3, entitled Extra Duty Assignments, particularly Section 15, Responsibilities for Compensation, Section 16, Rates and Charges. Anybody want to be heard on ordinance number 3390? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Move it.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Motion to move the ordinance, I move it.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Resolutions, Commissioner Tucci.
Yes, whereas Township of Nutley has a need to acquire specialized professional services as a non-fair and open contract pursuant to the provision of NJSA 19:44A 20.4 or 20.5, and whereas the Township of Nutley through the Department of Parks and Public Property has a need to acquire specialized professional services for preliminary assessment for Father Glotzback Field, and whereas the anticipated term of this contract is for 12 months from the date of contract award, and whereas Veridian Environmental Consultants, P.O. Box 3009, Upper Montclair, New Jersey, has submitted a proposal indicating that they will provide such services for the sum not to exceed $10,900. And whereas Veridian Environmental Consultants has completed and submitted a business entity disclosure certification which certifies that said corporation has not made any reportable contributions to a political or candidate committee in the Township of Nutley in the previous 1 year, and that the contract will prohibit Veridian Environmental Consultants from making any reportable contributions to the term of contract. Whereas funds are available from account 3372D in the amount of $10,900 and have been certified by the Chief Financial Officer, said certification being attached to this resolution. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, enter into a contract with Veridian Environmental Consultants as described herein, and be it further resolved that the business disclosure entity certification and the determination of value be placed on file with this resolution, and be it further resolved that a notice of this action shall be printed once in the Nutley Sun in accordance with local public contracts law. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
Whereas the Department of Parks and Public Properties determined there's a need to refurbish the tennis courts located at Owens Field, and whereas the Department of Parks and Public Property received 2 quotes, and whereas Hinding Tennis Courts LLC, 24 Spring Street, West Haven, Connecticut, has submitted a quote indicating they will provide such services for a sum not to exceed $24,164, and whereas funds are available from account 3344D in the amount of $24,164 have been certified by the Chief Financial Officer, now therefore be resolved by the Board of Commissioners, Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that we enter into a contract with Hinding Tennis Courts LLC, West Haven, Connecticut, as described herein. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Evans?
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas the Township of Nutley has filed a declaratory judgment action in Superior Court of State of New Jersey, Essex County, in furtherance of the Supreme Court's March 10, 2015 decision captioned Adoption of NJAC 5:96, 5:97 by the New Jersey Council on Affordable Housing. Whereas Paul Ricky Planning, 10 Georgian Way, Clark, New Jersey, the designated planner for the township, has previously been authorized to assist the township's designated affordable housing attorney in preparation and filing of the declaratory judgment action. Whereas the Board of Commissioners wishes to supplement the Ritchie Planning and authorize Ritchie Planning as noted here within the resolution. Whereas this amendment to the contract for Ritchie Planning for supplemental professional planning services is not to exceed $5,000, and funds are available in account T26909902 and have been certified by the Chief Financial Officer. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners, the Township of Nutley, the State of New Jersey, that we amend the contract of Ritchie Planning as described herein. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
Whereas the Township of Nutley Department of Revenue and Finance has a need to acquire an electronic tax sale contractor on behalf of the township, whereas Rock Industries, 306 Harlan Road, Belmead, New Jersey, has submitted a proposal stating that they will provide such services at the same rate as 2015, or $15 per line item, not to exceed $4,500. Whereas funds are available in account 801-206-298 and will be certified by the Chief Financial Officer upon adoption of the 2018 budget. Funds are provided for in the proposed 2018 budget. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, State of New Jersey, as follows. Mayor and Township Clerk are hereby authorized and directed to execute an agreement with Rock Industries for electronic tax sale services at a rate of $15 per line item, not to exceed $4,500, in accordance with a proposal dated June 20th, 2018. 2. A copy of this resolution as well as the contract shall be placed on file with the Township Clerk. So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Commissioner Rogers, will you take Commissioner Petracco's resolutions?
Okay, this is on behalf of Commissioner Petracco. Whereas the Township of Nutley, through the Nutley Police Department, has the need to acquire the services of an outside company for the administration and management of the police duty details throughout the Township of Nutley, and whereas Extra Duty Solutions, located at 101 Merritt Boulevard, Trumbull, Connecticut, has submitted a proposal indicating they will provide such services at no cost to the Township, And whereas all fees will be paid directly to Extra Duty Solutions by the third-party vendor, and whereas the term of this contract is not to exceed 5 years from the date of contract award, and whereas Extra Duty Solutions has completed and submitted a business entity disclosure certification which certifies that said corporation has not made any reportable contributions to a political or candidate committee in the Township of Nutley in the previous 1 year, and that the contract will prohibit Extra Duty Solutions partners from making any reportable contributions through the term of the contract. And now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey as follows. 1, a contract shall be entered into between the Township of Nutley and Extra Duty Solutions, 101 Merritt Boulevard, Trumbull, Connecticut, for the administration and management of the police off-duty details. 2, a copy of this resolution, as well as the contract, shall be placed on file with the Township Clerk. So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye.
Resolution number 16818 on behalf of Commissioner Petracco. Whereas the Township of Nutley has determined that the property described on Schedule A, attached hereto and incorporated herein, has been abandoned by its owners and titled as junk, along with one standard title cleared through the Division of Motor Vehicle. And whereas the towing contract between the Township of Nutley and Nicollet Towing authorizes the sale of abandoned vehicles left on their premises by the owners, and whereas the Township of Nutley intends to utilize the facilities of Nicollet Towing, 757 1000 Page Avenue, Lyndhurst, New Jersey, for the auction on Wednesday, August 8th, 2018 at 10 a.m., and whereas the sales are being conducted pursuant to the DMV NJSA 3910A-1 through 39:10A-7 laws, and now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that the Township is hereby authorized to sell the abandoned personal property vehicles as indicated in Schedule A at a live auction. And 1, a certified copy of the resolution be forwarded to the Township Clerk to the following Chief of Police, Chief Financial Officer. Schedule A, 2000 Dodge, 2009 Jeep, 2002 Mercury, 2004 Mitsubishi, 2000 Mercedes, 2000 Lincoln, 2000 Toyota, 2016 clear title Ford. So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Thank you, Commissioner.
You're welcome.
Whereas the Township of Nutley has a need to acquire the service of an independent planning expert to assist the Zoning Board of Adjustments as a non-fair open contract pursuant to the provisions of NJSA 19:44A-20.4 or 20.5 as appropriate. And whereas Paul Ricky, AICP of Ricky Planning, 10 Georgian Way, Clark, New Jersey, is willing and able to provide such an expert review of plans and applications and other documents and matters submitted before the board to be paid at a rate of $120 per hour. And whereas the anticipated term of this contract is from January 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2018. Whereas funds are available from the applicant's escrow deposit developer's account, now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners, Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, authorizes a contract of Ricky Planning to assist the Zoning Board of Adjustment with respect to applications submitted, and be it further resolved, the business disclosure, entity certification, and determination of value will be placed on file with this resolution, and be it further resolved that a notice of this action shall be printed in the Nutley Sun in accordance with the local public contract law. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Whereas raffle applications have been received from the following organization: VFW Post number 493, license number 2318, daily pull tab instant raffles, to be held daily from July 20th, 2018 through July 12th, 2019. Whereas the application has been reviewed and approved by the municipal clerk and the police department, now therefore be resolved by the Board of Commissioners, Township of Nutley, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that the aforementioned licenses are approved. The municipal clerk is authorized to issue the raffle license. I move the resolution.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor Scarpelli?
Aye. Let's open up the public portion of the meeting. Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mayor. All persons addressing the Board of Commissioners regarding community concerns should approach the microphone and provide their name and address for the record. Unless further time is granted by the Board, each person shall limit their address to 5 minutes. All remarks to the board and its individual members must be addressed to the mayor. The mayor may defer citizens' comments to the appropriate member of the board. Dialogue between citizens and others addressing the board shall be allowed unless the mayor or presiding officer or the majority of the membership of the board shall determine that the interests of decorum and/or the expeditious conduct of municipal business are being adversely affected by such dialogue.
Amy Salento, 70 Newman Avenue. Mayor, I just wanted to follow up on a few things. I'm wondering, in terms of the mixed-use proposal, Tammy Rossi asked a question at the last meeting, just in terms of timing as to when that will be presented for a public hearing. Are there any updates?
Not at this point, no.
Okay, thank you. Mixed recycling outsourcing, that happened earlier, I think, or maybe it was for the beginning of this year. I'm not sure of the dates, but I'm wondering what the offset is or was, because there was mention that there would be an offset in budget, staff, personnel, equipment,
We haven't finalized our budget, but there was a decrease in staff in DPW and a decrease in the budget.
Okay, so we'll see that in the budget as it comes for final resolution or final presentation. Final budget presentation after we hear from the state.
Correct.
Right, okay, thank you. Parking meters. So as I was reviewing things related to credit card servicing or merchant processing, you know, it was my understanding that the town could only have one provider. Otherwise, we would be out of compliance. But it's my understanding that Parks and Recreation has their own system, their own provider, and then I guess there's a provider for taxes and water billing. I'm not sure about the municipal fines, court fees,
We're well on the way of resolving that issue.
of parking meters not accepting credit cards.
Resolving the issue so they will accept credit cards.
Okay, do we have a timeline?
I can't give you that right this second.
But we're well on our way. So.
Well on our way.
Okay, thank you very much.
Amy, the issue that we had with regarding merchant providers,
I can't hear you.
the issue that we had with regard to merchant providers, we resolved that with the state, which has allowed us to move forward quickly.
That's fantastic. Great news. Thank you very much. And then in terms of the litigation that we discussed at length last meeting regarding a particular developer and multiple properties, I'd like to know if there's an update in terms of progress, discussions.
It's with council. That's all I can say at this time.
Okay, so I will ask one question, which you referenced, Commissioner Evans, that in terms of the East Center property, the additional apartments that were added, I think you said it was 18, that there were plans submitted and permits issued. And my question is, how is it that that happened sort of after the fact? Yes, there were plans submitted, there were permits issued, but when an entire project was presented, how is it that there's like an add-on or a tack-on of 18 apartments? And I'm not sure if it's the right number, I'm just referencing the number that you stated.
I'll share what I can say to that point, given the fact it's with legal counsel, okay, as I previously just suggested. The first project for 82 units was constructed. This came along subsequent to that, after it was completed, to add additional units. So they were looked at as two separate projects.
So in that case, two separate projects, but on the same property?
Correct.
So did something change to allow for adding apartments, or is this in part potentially related to not having a clear mixed-use definition or
No,
density
it's not-
definition?
It's actually not related to mixed use at all. Upon construction, the basement, which was originally tagged to be 5 feet deep, because of engineering requirements to go down deeper to get to firm ground, the basement area became 11 feet, which raised this subsequent question about usability of that space, which was not originally intended.
Okay, I'll wait for the public information or the information that becomes public as the litigation proceeds. Thank you.
Anybody else wish to address the Board of Commissioners this evening before we go into executive session? Seeing no one, can I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss, Mr. Paris?
Legal matters? Legal matters and contract negotiations. Okay?
So moved.
Second.
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975 permits the exclusion of the public from meeting in certain circumstances. And whereas the public body is of the opinion that such circumstances exist. And whereas the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley in the County of Essex and State of New Jersey desires to proceed to close executive session. And now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Nutley, move into closed executive session to discuss legal matters and contract negotiations. Be it further resolved that at the time when such discussion may be disclosed to the public shall be when and as such disclosure may be made without adversely affecting the Township of Nutley, pending and/or anticipated legal, personnel, contractual matters, and other matters within the exceptions provided for by statute. Commissioner Rogers?
Aye.
Commissioner Tucci?
Aye.
Commissioner Evans?
Aye.
Mayor
And just a
Scarpelli?
Point of
Aye.
And the time is 10:55.
point of clarification is that we may come out and take action,
Yes,
correct?
we may come out and may or may not take further
Yeah,
action,
just for the record.
for the record.